Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, another exciting day in the markets. I want to talk about what I'm seeing out there and give an update, the last update on this channel before the Tesla earnings. We'll see how they come out. If you haven't watched my video about Tesla earnings, go back and check out those projections. We'll see how they pan out in the after hours. So guys, I do want to ask you just real quick for an octopus. If you want to make it laugh, do you know what you got to do? You got to give it at least 10 tickles. All right, so with that said, let's jump over into the charts. Here's SPY. Check this out. So we bounced off of this support line right here, moved back up above the 20-day. That 20-day simple moving average is this beige line. Let me get rid of some of the EMAs. We'll get rid of the Bollinger Bands. That button right there. There we go. Now you can see it a little bit more clearly, and you can also see this top trend line resistance that we hit. I said we could drift back upward if we could retake the 20-day. We have. Now, mind you, that low bottom wick, good. Now this high bottom wick here, man, indecision, especially that narrow body right now. We're hitting some selling pressure. We got to see what's going on with SPY. So if we go over to QQQ, this one alarms people sometimes because they see that I'm indicating a head and shoulders. This is just one eventuality, one possibility that could be out there. Maybe you're a multiversal being and you see all eventualities all at once. I don't even know. But for this one, if we can't break 487 at the top side of this in the next few days, and instead we start sending back down towards 474, then and only then do we have to be worried about the head and shoulders pattern. Otherwise, we're above the 50-day, we're above the 200-day, cautiously bullish. I'm going to keep putting it out there. I've been saying it since December, January, sometime around there, that I stay cautiously bullish on these markets and I keep on riding the waves as they come along. So we'll see. I did put a hedge play out there for either direction. Volatility play, just some short-term stuff with SQQQ. I think I said the right amount of Qs there. Took some calls on it, some puts on it because relatively low premium with something that should pay in either direction if it moves in either direction big enough. And I plan to keep those open through next week unless they print sooner than that. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. IWM, the Russell 2000, I said this one could outperform, and well, today it is outperforming the S&P, the 500. You saw the rise that went on. We retraced, and you can see I put a Fibonacci extension on here. We blasted right through 221. We have room once again up to about 225. We might consolidate. We might trade sideways from here. We're going to have to look out. If we do retest, we got to watch out for that double peak, but that does get us into an area of historic resistance, and it's quite a fight to get through there. I'm going to be honest, but if we can break through that historic resistance, then we have this big open area up here where we could more easily climb from 233-ish up to about 244, 245, which would be that all-time high value. And you can see I have the breakout areas labeled. Notice we made it down into support. Look how small the candle got as soon as we got into the support area on this thing. Look how big the candles are, whether red or green, in this area that I said in here was the breakout area. So if you've been watching my videos, watching my channel, you'll know that I've been talking about that. And as we got down into about the middle of this historic support zone down here, this support area, bounced back up. Pretty darn good ride. Keep an eye on the momentum indicator as we just went back up into just barely tagging that overbought space right there. So Bitcoin, a little bit of an update on that one as well. So for Bitcoin, I had this line drawn on here. And you'll notice I'm indicating buying pressure. Now that buying pressure should actually be tagged over here on either of these two candles with the low bottom wicks, but we did fall down below this support line that you see, had a short-term, near-term rising wedge pattern. We're above the 50-day. We're above this yellow 200-day right now. If we bounce off of that, we stay above that, we're still in bullish territory. If we fall back down below it after this short time above it, because we already went through it, retested it, took off, and now we're heading back down to it. So if that happens, we could see continued selling pressure, that 200-day in confluence with the $60,000 line that's there. So we would need to be on the lookout for that. That's been a pretty good set of rise all the way from where were we at back here, about 58,000, and we went up to about 68,000. Really darn good run on that one. And now we're watching to see where this candle happens to put us. The Ethereum ETF approval has been put out there. We expected some of the sell the news to happen. Some of that sell the news is happening, but I think when the dust settles on Ethereum, and I think Bitcoin's also going to benefit with Ethereum's price with that adoption that could come along with it. Ethereum being in the number 2 spot by market cap for all crypto that's out there right now. That Ethereum, which here, I want to put it up since I'm talking about it. There we go. You'll notice the price action a little bit better on Ethereum, actually. And maybe that's where some of that attention is going. We do need to break over 3,500 resistance. You'll notice as soon as we got up above it, we quickly sold back down through it. and now we have a high top wick here. Still that selling pressure on this one. You can see right here that I have signs of downward pressure. Mind you, I share these technicals over at my stock group, and you guys can check that stock group out along with my buys and sells by using the link for the Patreon down in the description. Click that, sign up, jump over to the Discord, join me and my community members. So moving from there over to Nvidia. Check out the technicals on Nvidia. I said that we have a gap to fill up to 125 where we found resistance. And where did we go today? We went up to 124.69 before retracing back down. If we can't go over 125, then we're back down here retesting 118. So be on the lookout for that one. If we are able to break it, then we have this resistance line coming down through the top. And notice it's unconfirmed because we have 2 touches on it, but we don't have 3. But I think that if we do break through 125, I think that we can overtake 130-ish, but 130 not by much. We need to watch and see if that trendline resistance gets taken. And with that said, I will say something that can help put us over that is if Elon comes out tonight with earnings and says about further purchasing of the H100s or maybe the Blackwell series from Nvidia, that there's more aggressive buying taking place. It could be one of those first signs that we get. Google also with their earnings coming out, if they talk about further Nvidia demand, that can be something that not only catalyzes Nvidia's stock price, but it can also be something that catalyzes QQQ's stock price as well, and the overall market in general, because that would keep the punch going at the party, if you will. Now, mind you, if they said that their hunger or thirst has been sated for Nvidia products, that they're slowing down, that they're pulling back a little bit, that is probably going to, in the near term, crater Nvidia's price until we hear from Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Apple, you name it, whoever. Well, Apple has their own thing going. I don't know that they're going to talk too much about Nvidia in that, but Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta would be the ones that we really want to listen for in that. So with that said, let's jump over to Tesla. Last update before their earnings. I said that a couple days ago. What's today? Today's Tuesday. So I said, I think it was Monday in the pre-market hours. So yesterday, pre-market hours, I said we could probably settle around 250 prior to earnings. Well, yesterday, where did we close at? We closed at 251 today. As we get near market close, 248. So we're right around that 250 mark where I expected us to be, really putting us in the middle of things in this consolidation pattern. And we're up in the area of resistance right now. And what's my bias? Just in case you haven't gone back to see the reasons for my bias, check out my last video. We're narrowing down, we're running down on that time for Tesla earnings, and I can't wait to check them out, see how I did. I do have a long bias, a long position going into this one, not only with stocks, but also with options on this one. I took TSLL for decreased premium exposure to this, but also increased profit potential, we'll say, on that one. So we'll see if we get that upside movement on this one. I think Elon is going to bring the heat with this earnings call. And at this point in time, I did all my homework that I can. Now it's in the teacher's hands to grade my papers on this one, and all that's left to do right now is hope that I'm right, and if not, I'm going to have to adjust my plan. Guys, I hope that you appreciated my commentary. If you want to see my buys and sells, like I said, that link for the Patreon is down in the description. Click that, sign up, and head on over to the Discord. And then if you want to learn to do technical analysis like I do and learn to empower your portfolio through technical analysis trading, that link is also down in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.